Hey guys, Steve Trowbridge here. So I figured I'd make a video taking a little break from the Sticks and Hardwick drama, although there is a video I want to make addressing something having to do with him later on. But I figured I'd do a video and we'd talk about everyone's favorite YouTuber, Onion Boy, aka Onision. So there's this channel called Strange Aeons. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But she basically has done a few videos on Onision. She's done videos on his music career if you can even call it that. And her most recent video was a review of his book, Stones to Abigail. Now, if you don't know, Onision has written two books. He's written a third, or he was writing it and releasing the chapters on Patreon. But he's written two books. Stones to Abigail was the first one, and This Is Why I Hate You was the second one. And I haven't actually read the books myself, but there is a YouTuber by the name of Gines, Ginarella Gines, who did readings of both of the books. So if you want to actually hear the book, go watch her videos. I'll just go ahead and put a link to her channel. I'll probably put a link to Strange Aeon's videos on her book review on Onision's book, and I'll put Onision's video that I'm going to address here and below as well. But so basically, I guess Onision got triggered or something, and he decided to make a video responding to not just the book review video, but several of her videos. And to me, this really just proves that Onision hasn't really changed whatsoever. Fuck. Sorry about that. Adjust it here. But yeah, it's really just proven that Onision really hasn't changed like he's been, because he's been putting out these videos like in the last 6 months or so where he's given off this like illusion or this idea that he's been doing some reflecting and changing as a person, but this video really just shoots that idea in the foot completely. I made a video a while back saying that, you know, don't be fooled, Onision hasn't changed, and he hasn't. This video just proves it, because anytime that Onision has had any criticism directed his way, you know, if you can look at his video exchanges with Blair White, Jacqueline Glenn, and people like that. Some Guy 827, if you can find a video, you might be able to find some of those videos they did with Some Guy 827, the response videos, anyways. Or even look at the debate that he had with Some Guy 827. Even with that, but he didn't really address any of the criticisms that Strange Aeons gave his book or him in general or his music or whatever. And a lot of the comments in the video were saying this, just like, oh, then people just aren't familiar with Onision's humor, or oh, did you really expect him to address any of the points? Well, yeah, because when he's responding to a video that is giving him criticism on himself, his music, his books, whatever, you might expect the person to maybe address some of the criticisms or maybe take in some of the criticisms, whatever. But, of course, this is Onision, and that's not going to happen because Onision can't handle criticism, and he actually says it in the video in a joking way, but honestly, it's the truth. Onision cannot handle criticism whatsoever. Now, Onision's books, I mean, they're as bad as you think they'd be. I mean, they're just terrible, terrible books. I mean, you know, like I said, I've listened to the book readings the one YouTuber did, and the books are just awful for multiple reasons. The characters are shallow. They make fucking Edward and Bella look like deep, layered, three-dimensional characters, okay? Like, it's that bad. Like, James in the first book, it's essentially the same character in both books, except they're both... The main character is basically Greg, and the main characters in both books are extremely douchey. Just in the second book, This Is Why I Hate You, the character doesn't even try to hide how much of a douche he is. He just kind of lays it out all on the table for you. I have kind of a theory about those books. My theory is that the main character in both of his books, Stones to Abigail and This Is Why I Hate You, is the same character. I mean, it is, but it's the same character in the same universe, and the character just has multiple personality disorder. Like, and I think Greg described Stones to Abigail, James is the main character in Stones to Abigail. He said that James was the light, and then Arthur, who is the character in This Is Why I Hate You, is the dark. Ooh. Pretty deep there, buddy. Really, really, really way to hook people's interest. But my theory is that the character that James and Arthur are just one character. They just got different multiple personality disorders, and they've created these illusions. Like in Stones to Abigail, he's got, you know, the perfect relationship in his mind anyways, and everything's all well. But then in This Is Why I Hate You, it's this world where the character just hates everything more so than what he does in Stones to Abigail. He just absolutely despises everything except, of course, the girls that he meets and gets in relationships with. They're both basically just manifestos disguised as fiction, as novels, pretty much. I mean, they're both glimpses into Greg's mind. It's pretty disturbing. But no, I mean, the characters are shallow. There's no coherent storyline or plot. You know, things just happen for no reason. Like in Stones to Abigail, there's a school shooting. Someone gets, what happened? Like there's a character like towards the end of the book that gets hit by a car because the character runs into the freeway and he gets hit by a car because he's trying to save someone from suicide. There's that. There's the girlfriend in that book who has a really fucking disturbing past of getting like raped and then gang raped and getting a forced abortion and stuff basically, and just one thing after another for no particular reason. They just happen. You know, in Stones to Abigail, the relationship between James and Abby, who was the lead female, I guess, in that book, there's no real reason why they're in a relationship. They just are. They just click. There's no real reason for really anything that happens in the book. It's just a very shallow book. And so is This Is Why I Hate You. I mean, these books make the Twilight series, look like fucking Stephen King in comparison. I mean, it's just awful books. And Onision, if you don't want people criticizing your books, maybe don't publish them. Maybe don't make them available to the public eye. Just don't publish them. Because if you publish something, whether it be your books or your music or whatever, you're going to get different opinions on all of them. You're going to get, you know, critiques and everything on all forms of entertainment that you release. I use that word entertainment loosely. Not only that, but the books just are very, very pretentious, and they just try way too hard to be deep and everything. Like, you know what? Actually, I've got the first paragraph of the first chapter of Stones to Abigail pulled up right now. I'm going to read this off to you guys, and just tell me that this doesn't sound like way too try-hard, like trying too hard to be deep and like thoughtful and everything. Like, just tell me this doesn't sound pretentious at all. Okay. I was asleep until I met her, comma, when he easily could have just put a period at the end of that sentence. It's 7 words. It can be a sentence. Just easily put a period, but whatever. When I finally woke, I learned the meaning of perfect imperfection. I've always been the type of person to focus on stars as we spin beneath them, the cool breeze on a sunny day, scattered patches of grass under my feet, the world around me, often forgetting to even glance at the one within. I had remained emotionally unexplored for so much of my life. It's painful knowing some can go an entire lifetime without understanding their own heart, an internal lock waiting for the right key to change everything. Tell me that's not pretentious, that it's not trying way too hard to be deep and insightful and everything. Maybe to Greg's audience of 14-year-old teenage girls it might be, but it's just awful. It's awful. What the hell? It reads like some like self-insert like romance fan fiction from like Wattpad or something that you would read. It's terrible. You know, and then just going away from his books, you know, like I say, Greg didn't really address any of the criticisms in any of her videos. He just made fun of her makeup, made fun of the way she sounds, the way she talks, the fact that she likes to add nuance in her videos. There was one point where he was watching one of her videos and she used an extended clip from one of her videos, and he said something like, "Oh, you just used my entire video, didn't you?" It's like, yeah, Greg, it's called context. It's called making sure that you're playing the whole thing, or at least the entire section of a video, to make sure you're not taking the person out of context. I mean, you did once call yourself a fact machine, correct? So you would probably want the proper context, right? It's so stupid. I mean, like, and then he starts putting on makeup in the video, and it furthers my theory that Onision is a closet gay. I mean, like, if, you know what? If Onision is gay, I don't care. Whatever. I don't care. But like, it furthers my theory that he's just in the closet. I think that's why maybe he treats women so badly. Maybe if he actually got with a guy, he would like calm down and stuff. Like, for you know an awful lot about makeup. Like, I understand you put makeup on in your videos, but you understand a lot about makeup. Like, it makes me question you being heterosexual, you know, but whatever. I mean, on from that, I mean, he also brings up the fact that she's made, I guess, a good number of videos. Like, she's made, like, I think, like 4 or 5 videos on him or something. And just lack of self-awareness there. Like, Greg, how many videos have you made about Shane Dawson? Like, the number of times you've brought up that guy, like, you are... For someone who is always claiming that people are obsessed with him just for making videos about you, I could redirect the same thing at you and say that you are obsessed with Shane Dawson for just making a bunch of videos about him, and you are obsessed with Shane Dawson. I mean, just look at the videos that you put out. You even put out a video where you addressed his weight or something, and then you made that entire live stream where Shane Dawson literally mentioned Onision in like maybe like a 20-second part of his video, and Onision made like a fucking however long stream addressing a joke that Shane Dawson made in reference to Onision, to a 20-second reference, if that, to Onision on a video, a full-length video. It's ridiculous. I mean, it just... Dude, you have the guts to say that someone else is obsessed with how many videos you've made about Shane Dawson. You have every right to make those videos, just like everybody else has the right to make videos about you. And you also bring up how, like, oh, people only make videos about me to get views. Don't you do that exact same thing when you bring up other YouTubers like Shane Dawson, once again, Eugenia Cooney, Social Repose? The Social Repose ones are my favorite because it's like, in those videos, Greg tries to make it out to be like he's not such a big douchebag because he projects onto Social Repose, and yeah, Social Repose is a douchebag, but so are you, Greg. Let's not forget here. Let's not lose sight of things. I mean, you are just as big a douchebag as Social Repose. You're projecting yourself onto Social Repose because you see yourself in there. Like, Social Repose and Onision are basically mirror images of each other. Let's not lose sight of things here. But yeah, that's a whole nother video, a whole nother can of worms, but that I don't want to open here. But just, yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect anything less from Greg, but I don't know. It just, like I said, it just proves that Onision hasn't changed one bit. He hasn't matured as a person. He hasn't grown at all. He's still the same immature douchebag that he has been on YouTube since 2007, or just however long he's been on here. He's been on here way too fucking long. But yeah, just the same immature, weirdo douchebag that he was in 2007 and 2008, 2009 when he was making all the crazy vegan videos. He's no different. The only difference is that he doesn't talk about veganism that much anymore, and he's probably more of a douche than he was back then, if that you can even believe that. He's just gotten worse. So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I want to address in that. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to address, because Strange Aeons, because Onision back in like 2009, it's been like almost 10 years ago, but he made this song where he says that he's describing his experience in the military, but the song is basically just taking a shit on the military. And look, maybe there might be some valid criticisms that you can make about the military and stuff, and maybe some of the morals, but I still have immense respect for everyone who serves in the military. Okay, I mean, those men and women are have made huge sacrifices for people like us, and are making huge sacrifices for us. They have to sacrifice time away from their family and friends and everything, being deployed to different states, sometimes even different countries. I've got 2 uncles who were in the military, one in the Air Force, one in the Marines. It really pisses me off that you would call yourself a veteran, a vet. You served in the, and this is another thing. I thought at one point you said that you served in the military for 5 years, and then at one point you said 4 years. Now it's 3.5 years, and you say that you were honorably discharged, which I don't believe whatsoever. But you call yourself a vet. You didn't. What did you do? I know you went to Korea. You probably fucked around your wife's Sky at the time. But what did you do? You bitched out of the military. You couldn't hack in the military, so you bitched out and you left. You didn't do shit for our country. You have the gall to call yourself a fucking veteran. I mean, and I know some people might, you might try to say that I'm some Republican, or because he said that if you say that in front of a Republican, you'll get thrown out. And, I like to think that it's not just conservative Republicans who have respect for the military. I think most people do have respect for the military and the people who serve in it. I'm not saying that being in the military automatically makes you a great person, but there are a lot of people who have served in the military who have straightened themselves out, and a lot weren't bad people to begin with, but they have straightened themselves out, and they have made some very admirable sacrifices for this country, something which you have not done. What have you done? You served in there for what, 3.5 years? You refused to what, kill a rabbit or something, or whatever. Like, what did you think you were signing up for, dude? And this is another can of worms that I don't want to open, but that part really just irritated me because, like I said, I have a lot of respect for those guys, those men and women, and to hear Onision just complete disrespect, and has the utter gall just to imply that he, honorably served this country. It's bullshit, man. You made that song shitting all over the military and everyone in it. You're the only one with integrity. Fuck off. Fuck right off. Dude, I'd wager to bet that most of those men and women have more integrity than you could ever dream of. So fuck right off. But I think that's basically it. I just had to get that last part out because that part really kind of just, it didn't piss me off, but it irked me a little bit. Because like I said, I have family members who have been in the military, and I've seen the sacrifices that they've made. And I feel like some people just don't appreciate the sacrifices that those men and women in the military make for us, to protect our freedom. But that's, again, I'm getting way off topic, but moral of the story, Greg still can't handle criticism. He hasn't changed. This video proves it. And his books and his music suck. And I want to apologize to all the legitimate musicians and authors out there who actually make good music and write good books. On behalf of all of you, I apologize as this guy has taken a shit and spit in all your guys' faces for even calling himself a musician and a writer. So, that's it for this one. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys later. So, peace, and have a good day.